Hey guys, this is MusicTechHelpGuy, and welcome to part 12 of my Music Theory for Producers course. In this video, we're going to talk about creating chords and triads in minor keys, and we're also going to talk about creating minor key chord progressions with our minor key chord map. In the previous video, part 11, if you haven't watched that one, I highly recommend you go watch it because it will explain some things that I'm more or less going to skip over in this video. In that video, we went over creating triads and chord progressions in major keys. Now, when you do this same process for minor keys, again, you spell out your whole scale and then add triads, add thirds, stack thirds on top of each root note of the scale, you end up with 7, 8 if you include the octave, 7 different triads for every single minor key. The difference is that the chord qualities are much different in minor keys than they are in major keys. In major keys, it was major 1, minor 2, minor 3, major 4, major 5, minor 6, diminished 7, and major 1. In minor keys, it's a minor 1, diminished 2, major 3, minor 4, minor 5, major 6, major 7, and minor 1 again. So for instance, the chords in A minor, we did this just for A minor, are A minor, B diminished, C major, D minor, E minor, F major, G major, and A minor. Likewise, if we do it for C minor down here, we end up with C minor, D diminished, E flat major, F minor, G minor, A flat major, B flat major, and C minor. Again, remember that the whole point of these Roman numerals is that the Roman numerals give us a relative value, a relative way to think about our chords. You know, both the A minor chord and the C minor chord are both the one chord in their respective keys. And just like with like we did with major keys, you can use this chord map to figure out pretty common minor key chord progressions in any key that you want. So again, this is another chord map that I created. It's based on other charts that I've seen, but it also includes some other chord progressions in it that I find are pretty common in the world of popular music. So let's figure one of them out. Let's do a 1, 3, 7, 6 chord progression. Now, you don't, in the last video, we always went back to the 1 chord. You don't always have to go back to the 1 chord through the chart. We're going to start on 1, jump to 3, because remember the tonic chord can go anywhere. Jump to 3. 3 and 7 can go together, so we're going to go over to 7. And then 7 and 6 can go together, so we're going to go up to 6. So it's 1, 3, 7, 6. But you'll notice that 6 doesn't have an arrow that points directly back to 1. We're still going to jump back to 1, so we're going to break the chart a little bit, but that's okay. If we really wanted to, we could create more, a longer cycle of chords. We can go from 7 to 4. We can go to 2 and then to 5 and then to 1 if we wanted to. But I want to simplify it with just 4 chords. So 1, 3, 7, 6. One other thing to note in the minor key chord map is that you'll see there's a diminished 7. We're not working with that yet because one thing I want you to realize is that the minor keys that we're going to be working with today are all natural minor. None of them are harmonic or melodic minor. So this arrangement of Roman numerals is only present when you're working in natural minor, not when you're working in harmonic or melodic minor. Some of the chords can actually change in harmonic and melodic minor, and we'll get to that in the next 2 videos. So this diminished 7 is actually only going to be there in harmonic minor. Also, you notice that there's 2 5 chords. There's a major and a minor 5 chord. For today, we're going to be working with the minor 5, again, because that's what is present in natural minor. Once you start working in harmonic minor, then the minor 5 can be altered to a major 5 chord. So we'll talk about those 2 chords later. So for now, we're just going to ignore those 2 and just work with minor 5. So again, 1, 3, 7, 6. So let's do this. Let's pick any key. 1, 3, 7, 6. Let's choose F minor. F minor has 4 flats in it. The 4 flats in F minor are B, E, A, D. So let's go into our Logic session here. It's going to delete these extra tracks here and rename this piano. And we're going to do this the same way we did it in the previous video, where we draw out the scale vertically and then use that vertical scale as a means to find our chords that we want to work with. So F minor is what we're working with. So let's just draw an F scale vertically. And again, I'm going to start with all white keys, and then we'll alter the flat keys. So F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F. So what we've effectively created is something that's kind of sounds like F major. It's actually called F Lydian, but we'll talk about modes later on. So remember, according to our circle of fifths, F minor has four flats, and those 4 flats are B, E, A, D. So let's go find B, E, A, and D. So here's B, here's E, here's A, and here's D. And since these are all supposed to be flat, we're going to lower them by a half step. So now what we have is vertically, we have F minor. Let me just pull this out a bit. Vertically, we have F minor. And just for sake of demonstration, like I did before, I'm going to add a few more notes to the top of it so we can figure out some of the the higher up chords. So the first 4 notes are F, G, A flat, B flat. So F, G, A flat, B flat. There we go. All right, so let's find our root notes for our chord progression 1, 3, 7, 6. So 1 is going to be F. 3 is going to be 1, 2, 3, A flat. 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is going to be E flat. And then 6 is going to be D flat, one below that. So let's figure out our chords now. So remember, it's just you jump up a third, then jump up another third. So the root note here is F, skip a note, G, choose the third, A flat. From A flat, skip a note, the next note's C. So again, we're moving up diatonically within the minor key. So the 3 chord starts on A flat, so we skip a note, the next note up is C. From C, we skip a note, the next one up is E flat. The 7 chord starts on E flat, so we skip a note, so our next note is G. Skip a note, the next note is B flat. All right, in the 6th chord, we start on E flat, skip a note. Our second note here is going to be C, or third, I should say. And then our 5th skip a note is going to be A flat. Now, I'm going to do one more thing with this chord progression here. Instead of having it do this, I'm going to make these latter 2 chords, since they're kind of high up, I'm going to drop them down an octave. The register at which you put your chords doesn't matter. You can choose whatever register you want. So that's what I'm going to do with these. I'm going to put those last 2 chords down an octave. And let's give our chord progression here a listen now. So remember in the last video I said you can do different things with your chords rhythmically. I'm going to slow down the tempo to 80 instead of 120. And let's do something with the rhythm. Instead of having instead of having every chord come in on a downbeat, let's maybe make every other chord maybe come in on an offbeat. So now we've got this syncopated, 2 of the chords are kind of syncopated on an upbeat. And that's just something very simple we could do with this chord progression to make it a little bit more interesting. All right, let's try another one. So that was 1, 3, 7, 6. All right, let's try another one. In this one, we're going to go 1. Let's go over to 4. And then from 4, we're actually going to go to 7. I know there isn't a line between the 2, but 4 can go to 7 in this particular progression. We'll talk about it later, but it's called a circle progression, and it actually uses all of the chords in our scale. So we're gonna go 1, 4, 7, and then let's see, 1, 4, 7, 3. So 1, 4, 7 can go to 3. 3 is going to go down to 6. So 3, 6. 6 is going to go to 2. And then 2 is going to go down to 5. And then 5 is going to come up to 1. So it's going to be 1, 4, 7, 3, 6, 2, 5, 1. Let's give that one a shot. So it's a little more complicated than our other one. Okay, so we're going to start on 1. We're going to go up to 4, which is B flat. From B flat, 4, we're going to go down to 7. Or actually, we'll go up to 7. From 7, we said we were going to go to 3. From 3, we said we were going to go to 6. From 6, we said we were going to go to 2, which is G. And then from 2, we were going to go to 5, which is C. And then C, 5, we're going to go back to 1, which is F. So let me just zoom out, or zoom in a little bit more here, so we can see what chords we're working with. So we have 1, 4, 7, 3, 6, 2, 5, 1. So the 1 chord, again, we're just going to skip notes like we did before. 1 chord, skip a note, go to A flat, skip a note, go to C. The B flat chord, skip a note, go to D flat, skip a note, go to F. The 7 chord, E flat, we're going to skip the F, go to G, skip the A flat, go to B flat. The 3 chord, A flat, we're going to skip B flat and go to C. We're going to skip D flat and go to E flat. The 6 chord, D flat, we're going to skip E flat and go to F. Skip G and go to A flat. Again, if you don't get this yet, we're just skipping every other note. Every other note we're skipping in our vertical scale over here. The diminished chord, the diminished 2 chord is going to be G, skip A flat, but go to B flat. Skip C, go to D flat. The 5 chord is going to be C, skip D flat, E flat, skip F, G, and then the 1 chord again is F, A flat, C. One thing I'm going to do is these high up chords. Again, I said you can play around with register. We're going to pull those down an octave, because I think they're gonna sound better like that. So let's give all this a listen. Now, this is a very specific type of chord progression, like I said before, called a circle progression, and we'll come back to those later on, because you can build circle progressions fairly easy, because you're actually using every single chord once in a very specific pattern, and you can kind of see the pattern here, but we'll come back to that specific type of progression later on. So that is the minor key chord map and minor key chords. Very similar to what we did in the last video with major key chords. Again, don't think of the minor key chord map as the only place you can go from chord to chord. Like I said, we broke the rule here in the map and we went from 4 to 7. It's not completely uncommon to do that, but we did it and it sounded fine. But notice that the 4 chord can go to the diminished 7, it's at least from what the chart says. So don't think you have to follow the chart 100%. You can sort of tweak it. Even on the first chord progression that we created, we ended on 6, and then from 6 we went back to 1. You can break the rules here and there. At the end of the day, follow the chart. Use the chart as like a rough guideline, but ultimately go with what just sounds good. Just go with what sounds good to your ears. So, all right, guys. So that is minor key chord progressions. In the next video, we are going to throw harmonic minor into the mix. And then in the video after that, we'll throw melodic minor into the mix, and we'll create some altered chords. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and thanks for watching.